Title: UK takes a dip in the Indo-Pacific trade bloc brouhaha or brilliant bargain. TLDR. UK Business Secretary Kemi Badenoch has put pen to paper, formalising the UK's spot in the Indo-Pacific trade bloc, promising a potential market of 500 million people for British businesses. But wait, some side-eye this move as a cosmetic ploy. Just a measly boost of 0.08% to the GDP after a decade, they say. But hold on. Isn't a small piece of a gigantic cake still quite a lot? Let's unwrap this international intrigue. The UK's business bigwig, Kemi Badenoch, has cleared the decks for the UK to dive into the lucrative waters of the Indo-Pacific trade bloc. The government's all for it, betting on the potential to make it rain for UK businesses in a market of a cool 500 million peeps, supposedly with fewer barriers to boot. But not everyone's throwing confetti. Critics are on the May train, arguing that this move will add just a teeny £1.8 billion annually to the UK economy after 10 years. Now, that might sound like chump change when you consider the total of Britain's GDP. But let's do some math here, folks. Isn't it true that £1.8 billion annually, over 10 years, equals, well, £18 billion? That's quite a lot of dough, no? Badenoch maintains the deal will bring significant benefits. So, will the average Joe and Jane feel any of this? According to her, they will if they use it. Trade Minister Nigel Huddleston assures that this move could be a game changer for individual companies. So, folks, are you ready to use it? This deal is part of the UK's post-Brexit pivot towards the Indo-Pacific, which is set to house around half of the world's middle-class consumers by 2035. But, with Labour leading the polls, the next government might shift focus from the Indo-Pacific back to the EU. Who's to say? Politics, am I right? With the new deal, Britain is the first newbie to join the bloc since 2018 and the first European country to do so. This bloc includes Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam. That's quite the list. Analysts are split. Some see this as a cosmetic move for the UK to flex its post-Brexit trade deal muscles. Others highlight how goodies like Australian Ugg boots, kiwi fruit from New Zealand, blueberries from Chile, and maple syrup from Canada will now become cheaper for UK consumers. Now, after 2 years of negotiations, Britain and the 11 member states will begin work to ratify the deal, a process estimated to conclude by the second half of 2024. Applications by China and Taiwan might stir the pot, but the UK insists that newbies must meet high standards. So, what about a free trade agreement with the US? Badenoch thinks the chances are very low. She attributes this to the change in administration from Trump to Biden. So, for now, the UK is seeking other trading interactions and deals with the US. Disclaimer: this piece is not investment advice, and it does not endorse or criticize the UK's decision to join the Indo-Pacific trade bloc. Remember, always do your research when it comes to business matters. So here's the million-dollar question, peeps: is this move a clever chess play by the UK or just a splash in the ocean? And what's the real deal here? Should we bank on the growth forecast or are the critics raining on a parade that's not even started? Over to you.